Happy Saturday, everybody, and welcome to a typical morning in the life of iRunOnBeer. I got a lot of questions when I was training for my ultramarathon, but the one question that kept coming up over and over and over again was how? How are you training for this? How do you keep yourself motivated to keep going out on all these long runs? How do you keep yourself motivated on the runs? And how do you make it through the months and months of training? So I wanted to walk through what my typical weekend long run morning routine looks like and just kind of walk you through a day in the life of iRunOnBeer. So first things first, I need coffee. I do drink it black to try to keep somewhat of a fasting state, but just thought it was important to point that out. So big fan of Dunkin' Donuts coffee. That's been my go-to. Throw a couple scoops in the old French press. And like I said, I try not to overdo it with caffeine, but it is an important part of the morning. And so I just want to make sure it helps kind of get my juices flowing, get me going in the morning. It just wakes me up. I'm still a little groggy in the morning, so I just want to make sure that I have the energy and the mental fortitude to make it through the day ahead. As I started to put together what my training routine was going to look like when I first started planning for this ultramarathon, I was trying to figure out what the most productive schedule would look like. And I kept hearing this hype all about The Rock's morning routine or his daily routine. So I do want to give you some warning. You'll probably see a lot of similarities between how I train and how he trains. I stole a lot of ideas from him, starting the day with coffee, and then from there also just using the moment while I'm having the coffee, waking up in the morning to start very productive, get some emails done, get some work done ahead of time. First big difference you'll notice between our routines is I get up at 5 a.m., so a little bit later than he's used to. I think he gets himself up at 4 o'clock, but don't need to get up that early. I like staying up a little bit later, and I really prioritize sleep over everything. But up at 5, take, like I said, about 30 minutes to get up and going in the morning before I get out the door on that run. But that being said, I think it's probably about time the coffee's ready, so we'll grab that and then we'll get back to the email. I think this is probably my favorite time of the morning also. It's just nice, it's quiet, it's just me and my thoughts. It gives me time, like I said, just to get my head clear. And I think really like that moment of the first sip of coffee in the morning that sets the stage for the whole day itself. So nothing like fresh coffee early in the morning. I'm ready to go. Time to prioritize, organize the rest of the day. And I feel like how you start your day just lays out the rest of the day for you. Now, all in all, I probably spent about 30 minutes in the morning just taking the time to myself, getting everything up and running. But, oh, check that out. It looks like Michelob Ultra is actually looking for some athletes to sponsor for Team Ultra. All right, so we're ready for today's run. Nothing too crazy today. It looks like Coach has me doing. It'll probably end up being just over 10 miles. It's gonna be some 20-minute tempo intervals, 3 20-minute tempo intervals with 5 minutes rest in between each. So, like I said, should end up being just over 10 miles. As I mentioned before, I usually try to keep myself fasted during runs, but usually I will bring some fuel on the run if it's getting to that 10-mile mark. That's really when I set kind of the limit of I need to bring some kind of fuel on the run. I can't just go totally water or fuel free. So it should take probably a little under an hour and a half, so I'll see you back here around then. All right, solid run. Sorry, just gotta catch my breath. Was hitting sub 7 minute pace for all my 20-minute intervals, so that's pretty good. Felt good about the run overall, felt very relaxed. I actually didn't end up needing my fuel. I felt pretty good just from the coffee this morning, so that's good, but definitely feeling a little bit thirsty now, so figure I'll crack into one of these. That's just what I needed. Back from the run, like I said, it was just under 10 and a half miles, took about an hour and a half, so felt really good about the intervals, but because I didn't have any water or anything like that, I want to make sure I do get some electrolytes in my system. I had the fuel right after, but if I don't have some kind of electrolyte, something to replenish my system, my electrolyte stores right after, especially a tougher workout, I find that it's just bad news bears for the rest of the days. I crash for the rest of the day. I just crash, I'm tired, I just don't have the same energy. So first thing I want to do when I get back from a workout is just make sure I am replenishing those electrolytes and just re-energizing for the rest of the day. So big fan of Noon, great hydration supplement, add some good flavor and carbonation and just just, again, gets you ready, gets you re-energized for the rest of the day. While the noon dissolves, I am gonna go ahead and make myself a quick breakfast. Again, this is one of the areas where me and The Rock diverge from our intense training plans. He likes to have something a little bit heartier for breakfast. I like to keep it relatively light. I'm just looking to refuel and get my energy level up enough to fuel me through the second workout of the day. So like I said, nothing too crazy, just light, just something easy to maintain the energy level. I'll save the feast and the big meals, the big calorie reloads to the end of the day, but just want to get something in my system so I'm not too exhausted. I have the energy I need to get through another tough workout today. So just keeping it simple, keeping it with cereal. I got the noon to replenish my electrolytes. I'll have the cereal to go ahead and just get some more energy in my system. And like I said, just be ready to go for the rest of the day. So I'm gonna go over and enjoy this and just get ready for that Peloton ride. So these 2-a-day workouts are something new that I had to get used to with ultra training. It's something that I totally was not used to, had never done before. And again, that's one of the reasons I first started looking at The Rock's training regimen. I think he eats something like 10 whole cods throughout the day. I don't need anywhere near that amount of fuel or anything like that for me. Plus, he's a lot more focused on the strength training, the bulking, whereas I'm more focused on endurance. So during ultra training, it was a lot of early morning runs, taking a break, getting ready for another run in the afternoon. Now that I'm not training for an ultra marathon, I'm still doing these 2-a-days somewhat frequently, but usually I'll opt, instead of for a run in the afternoon, I'll do something like a Peloton ride. It mixes in some strength, it's a high intensity workout, but also less impact on the legs. So hopefully it will be more sustainable, easier for me to get through, and hopefully prevent some of that injury that I might be worried about later on, because I am doing that strength workout. Geared up and ready for the second workout of the day. It is just past 7:30, so still nice and early. I like to get the workouts done early so you're ready and set to go for a nice productive rest of the day. So as I mentioned, gonna be doing a 45-minute Peloton ride. It's gonna be a mix of intervals as well as some arms workout as well mixed in. We've actually had this bike for a little over a year now, but I only just started using it. But it's a great way to add some cross training into your workouts. Just mix it up a little bit. And like I said, get some high intensity interval training in while also not taxing your legs with the impact of running. So we're about halfway through the ride. Definitely a great way to work up a sweat. And like I said, you just don't have to worry about the impact as much on your legs, which I really enjoy. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about a Peloton. I'm not big into spin classes or anything like that, but I am definitely into the competitive nature of the bike. It's something new, something to try out. I always am an advocate for getting outside your comfort zone. I feel like we get stuck in doing the same training cycles time and time again, and that's how you risk overuse injury. So find something new, find something you're interested in trying, and like I said, this is a fantastic way to work up a sweat and just really get in a solid second workout after a tough run. Whew, all right, time to switch to arms. And like I said before, as runners, I feel like we spend way too much time focusing on our legs, and it's really important to not neglect the arms as well. You might not think about it, but you do use a lot of upper body strength, maintaining your posture and everything like that throughout a run. So you just want to make sure that you are strengthening your arms whenever possible, not neglecting them, and just taking care of your body as a whole. You'll see after this, usually after a ride, I finish my workouts of the day with some purely dedicated strength work, which is something I think all runners could use a little bit more of. Cycling workout done, heart rate's going, so like I said, now's when I'll jump right off the bike and head into some dedicated strength workout. While I'm still feeling a good sweat, still have a good heart rate pumping, I'll hit the floor and get in some of that those dedicated lifts, specifically just on strengthening different parts of the body. All right, so it is just before 9 o'clock now, and this is the time when a lot of people are just starting their day, and already we've got 2 workouts in. We're fueled up, we're ready to go for the day, and so now it's time to begin what I would normally do on any given Saturday with any kind of chores or errands or things like that I have. So for today, nothing too crazy, just doing some apartment cleaning, so we'll skip to a quick montage of all of that, and then I'll join you to show you the end of the day, because I feel like how you end your day is just as important as how you start in terms of building a solid routine. So gonna just do what I need to do for the rest of this Saturday, and I'll see you back here for tonight's nighttime routine. So the day is winding down. I hope you enjoyed this quick glimpse into what my weekend routine looks like as far as how I get up in the morning, how I get moving, how I maintain productivity, and how I'm able to fuel myself and continue on all the runs that I do. So hopefully that answers everyone's questions about how I made it through ultramarathon training. But as I did allude to earlier in the video, I do think how you end your day is just as important as how you start your day. You really need to take the time to wind down at the end of the day, relax, get a nice early sleep, get into bed early so that you're ready to get the full 8 hours, wake up ready, refueled, re-energized for the next morning. So it is about 8 o'clock here tonight. I'm gonna sit down. I have an hour before I need to go to sleep so that I can wake up at 5 with my full 8 hours, but I just like to sit, relax, read a book, and just, like I said, unwind to make sure that I'm ready to go. So without further ado, that's everything I had for y'all tonight. I am going to hop into bed and just cool off, and then start all again tomorrow morning. Oh.